All right, guys, let us begin. Let us enter into a wonderful chapter, chapter number 10, Audit and Auditors. Which is your future? Yes or no? We are all dying here together to understand this chapter only and to practice this chapter in the future. So, in the context of your life, not only just the exam, very, very, very important chapter. This will come in CA Inter Law and Audit and CA Final Audit also. We will study in which level? We will study which level? Para level. We will study not in the level of Inter. We will not study as per final level also. We will study as per CA level. So, I am going to assume that you are already chartered accountants, right? Whatever question they should ask, we should be in a position to understand without wasting time of, obviously, without simply telling some nonsense things that are not there in the syllabus. Within the framework of the syllabus, we will discuss at a different level altogether. Because it can come in law, auditing and CA final also, becomes very interesting for us, only these provisions. Other parts we can see that. And we can link it here and there to the standards on auditing as well, which of course your auditing faculty will take it in a different way. But whatever law and this audit link is there, we can link it so that it will help you little bit more when we are doing anything, everything for that matter. So, the entire chapter number 10, overview if I see, chapter 10 is actually from section 139 to 148, correct? That's all, 10 sections, but the thing is each and every one is obviously very important. So, 139 talks about appointment of auditors, 140 talks about removal and resignation, 141 talks about disqualification, 142 is exactly why we are sitting here and getting grilled. Instead of being calm, instead of doing BCom, we are doing CA. Why? For the paisa, money, remuneration. If you need great money, you need to have lot of knowledge and you need to have you need to take lot of responsibility. Responsibility comes under section 143, powers and duties. Just because you are doing certain powers and duties and getting money, you can't sit and do everything and anything there. You need to maintain as per your auditing, you already know. As per SA 700, the auditor's report is called as the independent auditor's report. So, when you are doing the independent auditor's report, you need to ensure that certain services you do not do. Those are the certain prohibited services. Prohibited services. Yes, the maker checker rule will be violated. Right? So, we have the entire BEAR Act in front of us. All these sections one by one we need to do. From here, 139. Yeah. So, 144, okay, let me draw here only. Then we have 145, 146, 147. $145. Ultimately, you will get remuneration only if you accept responsibility. Acceptance of responsibility will come only when you sign on something. That signing is given here, signature of the audit report. When will you sign the audit report? When you do the audit, when you address the grievances of the board and you also give your points, and the board gives you proper recognition and also explain whatever points you have raised, and also you listen to the shareholders. So attending the general meeting, etc., is 146. And then ultimately you have the penal provisions. If you don't do all these things, what will happen? Similar to chartered accountant, one more fellow also will be there who will be doing the audit. Cost accountant. So the cost audit provisions, who will appoint cost auditor, etc., will be given in this chapter. Internal auditor is under 138, chapter number 9. Just one section ahead is the other auditor. Just one section ahead is the other auditor, that is the statutory auditor. Auditor appointed under 139 is called statutory auditor, because it is governed by the statute. Internal auditor can be an employee also, but the statutory auditor has very, very strict independence requirements. Extremely strict independence you have to maintain as a statutory auditor. So once you go for articleship, internal auditor can be an outsider also, he can be an insider also. Once you go for articleship, you will be working in a firm. The firm could be, like the outsider, firm could be doing internal audit of various companies. Firm could be doing statutory audit of other companies. You can't be the same in the company, you know that. Independence is not there. Internal auditor works at the behest and the orders of the management. Statutory auditor only reports to the shareholder. Statutory auditor came to the principle of corporate democracy because the books of accounts cannot be inspected by the board. So who will inspect now? Statutory auditor. So internal auditor on the other hand works for the management. Management will say do this, he'll do, that's it. So when you join articleship, no, you will be doing internal audits also, and then you will be doing it for a couple of months. Then they'll tell you go to the statutory audit of some other company. You will see the change in the respect. Mark my words. You will see the change in the respect that they'll give you. Who will get more respect, internal auditor or statutory auditor? Obviously stat auditor. That doesn't mean internal auditor does anything bad or any less work. No. Internal auditor is being appointed by the management. So he's like part of the employee or part of the team. Statutory auditor is on the other side. When he comes into the company, you should see the respect that you're going to get. I'm not kidding. Once you join articleship, you will know. Maybe the recorded fellows will understand because they have bought the recorded classes because they are doing articleship. They know the difference. You will also know once you join articleship. You guys are all bachus, correct? The respect that they'll give When articles go inside, the finance officer will get up and say, sir, madam, you'll be like, me? Sir, you're calling me, sir? Sir, really? You're calling me, sir? Sir, in my office I just do tea. I make tea. Tea means trial balance, hey, not other tea. Correct? Simma, don't do this. Correct? Sir, me? You're respecting me? Yes, sir, please come, sir. Please come, sir. Please sit, sir. Like, what is this? It is all because of this chapter. I'm not joking. You'll see the wordings. When you see the wordings, you'll come to know. Articles also will get respect because articles is representing whom? The boss. The big daddy will come later. Articles will get respect. There is difference, I'm not joking. If you are a internal auditor, you will get tea. Half cup tea, that too watery. If you are a statutory auditor, I'm not kidding. If you are an article, sir, tell me, sir, where do you want to have lunch? Sir, tell me, sir, what juice you want? So I had a friend, I had my students, both were coming. One fellow was from one firm, one more fellow was one of the other firms. Both were going to the same audit. One fellow was internal auditor, one fellow was statutory auditor. He actually sent me a picture. I'm not kidding, he sent me a picture. In that picture, one student of mine is having tea. Other student of mine is having watermelon juice in the same company. It is all because of chapter number 10. Believe it or not. Got it? So if you see, that's what I am trying to tell. Right? Come now. Now, rather than going to the appointment of audit, it's highly discriminating. You can say yes. But rather than the discrimination portion, I would like to concentrate on what is more important. The auditor's power, the importance of the auditor's power. It's like very simple. If an internal auditor, you're a family member. You're like a cousin. Hey, come down. Hey, bed is not there, adjust. But if you're a statutory auditor, no, you're not a relative also. You're some outsider coming in. When outsider comes to your house, your mom, hey, go buy basmati rice. Basmati wa. Hey, go. Then curd rice also, she's making basmati rice. Correct? You will tell mummy, for me no basmati. Correct? True. Basmati rice. Your mom is making steamed rice with mulligatawny soup. Basmati rice for anna rasam. You are going mad. When your birthday is there, you will get palav or biryani, that too in Sona Masuri rice. It's like that. Correct? So I am saying, so when that fellow is coming, he is like, everybody will be like, hey, clean everything, clean the house, clean everything. Hey, go buy basmati rice. Go buy peda, sweet. Where from that, I'll go and buy from local shop. Hey, no local shop. Go and buy from Krishna Sweets. Buy Mysore Pak and come. So that's the thing. Statutory, the difference is only 138. Cousin comes. Hey, go down. Yesterday's rice is there, go eat. Bed and all is not there. I'll put one, carpet, you sleep on that. Correct? No? Like that only. Correct? I have counted, I have tell my mother even today. My birthday, even once you didn't do basmati. Palav also, Sona Masuri rice, you did that to yesterday's rice. Correct? Some stupid fellow once in a year is coming. For that fellow, curd rice also you are making in basmati. Hey, shut up and sit, go. That's what she used to tell. So if you see, that's all there is to it. Correct? So it's a true story. Today, every day I eat basmati rice. Correct? Every single day without fail. That's what it is. So that's the thing. Next. Yeah. So next part, if you see, let's go ahead, guys. This is chapter number 10, 139 to 148. Shall we go ahead one by one? See, 141, that is the disqualification part. When you are entering the company, what to do? Let's read now. Come on. Rather than all this, we'll see later, but one by one. Chapter 9 and chapter 10, you need to remember the section number. I don't care. Chapter number 10, you have to remember subsection number also. Oh, and all, don't tell. You have to remember, that's all. Write and practice, you will come to know. Other things, it's okay, no problem. At least section number, okay, fine. Subsection number, I can't remember, okay. At least section number, you have to remember. No second thought about it. In auditing, your standards on auditing number, you should at least remember the numbers. Right? Anyway. Let's dive into 141 first. Anyway, here only it's there. Page number 292. A person shall be eligible for appointment as an auditor of a company only if he is a chartered accountant. Like that, if you read, my dear friends, you will not understand anything. A person shall be eligible for appointment as an auditor of a company only. The reason why we are sitting here is because of this one word, yes or no? Only. Because he is a chartered accountant. Wonderful. It should give you goosebumps seeing this word only. Sir, nothing is happening, you tell, sir. Everyone is taking class, no bumps will come, you please tell. Correct? Only a CA. See the wonderful language. Only. First of all, shall. Mandatory. For appointment as an auditor of a company. Question number 2. All companies require auditor or not? All companies require auditor, only few types of companies. Auditing is mandatory for all or few types of companies. Tomorrow if your relative asks you, what is the scope of a chartered accountant, will you get work? You just tell him one thing. In 1956, 30,000 companies were there. Now almost 30 lakh plus companies are there. Then you tell him, Mama, Mami, Maple, as per section 141(1), a person shall be eligible for appointment as an auditor of a company. A company. Tell him. You open the bear, read. And then you tell, please read. Only. What, Mama? Only. What did you do, Mama? BCom. No. Only read. Only if he is a chartered accountant and I am a CA. Like that you should tell, right? Only if he is a chartered accountant. Are you understanding? So it is only is mandatory. A company means what? All companies. All companies need to appoint chartered accountants as statutory auditors. This section is for single auditor or joint auditor? Single auditor or joint auditor? Single or joint? An auditor of a company. An is single or both? Sir, leave me, sir. Please, cannot take it. An single, which means joint auditor is not allowed. Joint auditor is not allowed, yes or no? One 139(3), if we see, subject to the provisions of this act, members of the company may resolve to provide that audit shall be conducted by more than one auditor. Audit shall be conducted by more than one auditor. 139(3)(b). So, an auditor means single. Joint auditor is covered under 139(3)(b). So, 139(3)(b) actually gives legal sanction to SA 299. Did you understand? Those of you, hey, joint audit means not that joint. Narcos, nonsense fellows. Joint audit means more than one auditor. Correct, no? Not Narcos joint audit. Correct? Understood, sir. Don't do all that nonsense fellows. Right? Yes. So, if you see joint auditor 139(3)(b). Now, this is fine, shall be eligible for appointment. The thing is, this chapter is there in auditing also, as I told you, right? So, madam will give one perspective, I will give another perspective. Both perspectives will meet and you will understand in a superb way. I am telling purely from law point of view, auditing faculty will tell from auditor's point of view. So, that will be perfect. Yes. So, joint audit gives what? That gives the legal sanction to this particular standard, SA 299. SA 299. Provided that a firm whereof, okay, one second, first of all, two more questions. This section does not apply to lady chartered accountants, or lady chartered accountants cannot be auditors of the company. Yes. Because the act uses the word he. Here I have to go to General Clauses Act, which is also part of your syllabus. It's part of your syllabus, I am not telling anything. They say he includes she. He includes she. Only if he is a chartered accountant. He includes she. You may ask a valid question, what about transgenders? Right? That is nothing to laugh about. Honestly, it's a very serious question. They are also human beings. We need to respect them. What about transgenders? Transgenders, guys, they have a very, very bad history. Unfortunately, they have been completely, thrown away from society. That's why they resort to prostitution, begging, and all those things. Correct? So the thing is, the Transgender Protection Bill actually came about only now. That bill was opposed by transgenders only. Why? Because there they criminalize begging. They say if a transgender is begging, it's a criminal offense. So transgenders said, sir, okay, no problem. Let's say today you bring about the Transgenders Act. Can you give me guarantee that from tomorrow nobody is going to raise a finger against me and laugh at me? Government said, no, I cannot do that. I cannot tell that. So I said, sir, then why are you criminalizing begging? Just because you bring a law doesn't mean the society will change overnight. Transgenders have never been recognized till now. General Clause Act is a law that came in 1800s. Do you think there they would have recognized, yes or no? Right? Transgenders unfortunately have nowhere to go. Have you seen any transgender in any restaurant as a steward, as a manager? No. Have you seen it anywhere? No. They are completely thrown away from society. That's why they resort to begging, prostitution and other things. It's a true fact of life. You need to understand all that. They are also human beings. Next time when you only think about it, touch your heart and tell me, when a transgender comes near you, you run away. You'll say, chi, thu and all that. I know. Some of you may do it, some of you may not. Next time, just give them 10 rupees and say, please keep it. Right? They will not do anything. They will actually put their hand on you and say, bless you. Right? The way they act, etc., it's all because of societal norms. Unfortunately, they are also human beings. Now, slowly, things are changing and things are growing. So, the thing is, what I am trying to tell is, unless the law changes and unless the mindset changes, general clause and all will not change. Yeah, somebody pointed out even CA registration form doesn't have any option, right? So the thing is, until that changes, he includes she only. Correct? Yes. Next, provided where, so basically this is an individual. Very good. So some startups, etc., they are doing this hiring of transgenders. Excellent. Transgender can't do CA. Yeah, unfortunately not. Depends on the sex of the person at the time of birth. There are so many things, transgender, transvestite, where you have obviously the person has been operated upon, all those things. So there is no such case, unfortunately. And do you really think, buddies, that the transgenders will have a chance to do CA? Think about it. From beginning, they are thrown away from society, which will make them go into various things. Correct? Would you go to a CA firm which is managing partner transgender? Think about the people. Will they go? Our mindset should change. Until then, nothing will happen. Correct? Yes. Come back. So, provided that where a firm whereof majority of partners practicing in India are qualified for appointment, as aforesaid, may be appointed by its firm name. Yes, may be appointed by the firm name to be the auditor of a company. So tell me, if there are 10 partners in a firm, if there are 10 partners in a firm, 6 are chartered accountants in Dubai. There are a lot of CAs in Dubai, lot of business opportunities, etc. They are doing there. 4 are practicing in India. Can this firm be appointed to do? Can this firm be appointed? What do you think? Majority of partners practicing in India. In this, 4 are practicing in India, 6 are practicing outside. Yes, so can't be appointed by the firm name. Majority of partners should be practicing in India. Wrong answer. English. Read. Simple question. Does it say majority of the partners should be in India? Or does it say majority of the partners who are in India must be qualified? Sir, leave me, sir. I repeat. Majority of the partners should be in India, or majority of partners who are in India must be qualified. Does it say firm whereof majority of partners are qualified for appointment, firm whereof majority of partners are in India and qualified, firm whereof majority of partners are in India and qualified? Or are they saying firm whereof majority of partners in India are qualified? Can I say in India 3 out of 4 if they are qualified, then yes, this firm can be appointed? Yes or no? Oxygen mask. Correct, no? Yes. English. Right? So it says what, guys? Majority of partners practicing in India are qualified. Majority of partners practicing in India are qualified. I don't care about these guys. Majority of partners, 3 out of 4 must be qualified. Means what? All 4 will be chartered accountants only. That is obvious. But there are other qualification points here. See, 3A, B, C, D, E, so many points are there. All 4 must be CAs. It doesn't mean 3 CA, 1 BCom, 2 CA, 2 BCom. No. All 4 are chartered accountants in practice. But other disqualification points are also there, no? All these points we haven't even seen. In that, 3 out of 4 should qualify everything. 3 out of 4 should follow full 141. Got it, guys? 3 out of 4 should follow entire thing. Yes or no? Are you understanding, guys? 3 out of 4 should understand everything. Should follow everything. All 4 must be CAs. But the full section 141 shall be completely, followed by this. So it clearly says majority of partners in India are qualified. It doesn't say majority of partners are in India and qualified. Which means the fellows who are in India, 4, majority 3 out of 4 must be qualified. Qualified means all provisions of 141. But essentially 4 out of 4 also should be CA, otherwise discussion doesn't go ahead also. Can I have a multidisciplinary firm with 4 CAs, 1 company secretary, 1 lawyer, 1 architect? Why not? All college friends, school friends come together, school friends, and say they'll have a multidisciplinary firm now, multidisciplinary firm. Then obviously can architect sign the balance sheet? No. Can CA sign the work completion certificate of the building? No. So in a multidisciplinary LLP, which is allowed, limited liability partnership, there, where a firm including a LLP is appointed as an auditor of a company, only the partners who are chartered accountants shall be authorized to act and sign on behalf of the firm. Right? Multidisciplinary firm is allowed. It is allowed. So obviously, chartered accountant can sign. Only the partners who are chartered accountants shall be authorized to act and sign. Right? One second. Okay. Got it, guys? Got this point, yes or no? Only the partners who are CAs shall be authorized to act and sign on behalf of the firm. Yes or no? Got it? So in a multidisciplinary firm, only the partners, that's why they have given that, no? Only the partners who are CAs shall be authorized to act and sign. The following persons shall not be eligible for appointment as an auditor of a company, namely, this is the provision. See, even though all of them are CAs, some of them cannot fulfill 141(3)(d) onwards. There are various things there, one by one. The following persons shall not be eligible for appointment as an auditor of a company if, namely, body corporate other than LLP. LLP is a body corporate as per LLP Act. LLP is a body corporate as per LLP Act. Right? But LLP can be appointed as the auditor. Why? Body corporate other than LLP. It's given here only, no? See, firm including LLP. There are different provisions LLP protecting the partners, CA partners who did not do any mistake, and of course charging the partners who committed fraud, etc. But normal body corporate, private company, public company, etc., private company, public company, etc., normal bodies corporate, they cannot become auditors. Why? Means if 4-5 CAs start a company X private limited, they cannot audit Y limited. Why? Why? Answer. Basically, separate legal entity. Separate legal entity concept. Because ultimately, you know, for all the actions of the directors, there is a corporate veil. So I have to lift the corporate veil, conduct more procedures, not possible. Here you should be independent auditors. Auditor must be personally liable. That's why in LLP provisions also, though it is limited liability partnership, if you are a auditor who has committed fraud, etc., you will be personally liable. That veil of limited liability will be lifted in case of LLP also. But you can't keep lifting corporate veil in all other entities. That's why body corporate is not allowed. Yes or no? Yes. B and C, you see. Officer or employee of the company, person who is a partner or who is in the employment of an officer or employee of the company. What do you mean by that? Let's say we have Nandini Limited. As Ambi, Onion. Ambi is the director. Sorry, Onion is the director. Ambi is the sales manager. Onion has one more partnership firm. Mentals and Company. Onion is a partner. Hulk is a partner. Joker is a partner. This fellow is an employee of that mental fellow, correct? I don't know what his name is. Anyway, so here these two are also partners. Ambi also has a partnership firm. Correct? Bakras and Company. Which has Ambi, Captain America. Right? And Shaktiman. Have you seen Shaktiman? Yes. So now the question is very simple, guys. Question number 1. Can Ambi or Onion? Okay, one more employee also will give. Employee. Superman. Of course, sorry. Superman. Chaddi is out. Correct? Iron Man also is there. No, leave Iron Man on. Later we'll give it. Very simple. Now, guys, thing is very simple. Remo out of syllabus. Leave it. So, question is, can Ambi and Onion, one by one, can they be auditor? Can they be auditor? No. Why? Onion is the officer of the company. Ambi is the employee of the company. Here. Officer or employee of the company. Officer or employee of the company. Independence is violated. Familiarity threat. In auditing, it's called familiarity threat. They are employees of the company. How can they audit their own company? Independence only is not there. What about this? Hulk, Joker and PJ. Can the other mental fellows, Hulk, Joker and PJ, can they do the audit of Nandini Limited? Yes or no? Officer generally will be director and all those things who have special powers, extra powers. Can Hulk, Joker do it? No. Why? Hulk and Joker are the partners of officer of company. PJ is employee of officer of company, employee of Onion. Again, independence is getting affected, that's why. Partners of officer of company, employee of officer of company. Individually, can they be appointed? No. Can Mentals and company be appointed? No, because Onion also not allowed, Hulk also not allowed, Joker also not allowed. Majority are disqualified. Now are you understanding disqualified concept? Yes. Onion, Hulk, Joker. Partners of officer of the company. Bakras and company here. Ambi anyway cannot become. Captain America and Shaktiman, they are what? They also cannot become because they are partners of employee of company. Partners of employee of company. And Superman with Hulk hands is what? Employee of company. Employee of company. This is the reason. See the next one. A person, Hulk, who is a partner, leave the next line, partner of an officer of the company, or a person, PJ, who is in the employment of the officer of the company. Next, a person, here Captain America, who is a partner of the employee of the company. A person, Superman, who is the employee of the company. Not allowed. Everything because independence is getting affected. Everything because independence is getting affected. Employee or officer cannot be appointed. Partner of the officer cannot be appointed. Employee of the officer cannot be appointed. Partner of the employee cannot be appointed. Employee of the employee cannot be appointed. Are we understanding? Done? Yes. So those are the things, guys. Officer or employee of the company, partner or employee of the company, next, a person who is relative or partner A person who is relative or partner. Who or is relative or partner. Who is a relative? Your grandfather relative? Grandmother relative? Can you go and tell, hey grandma, you are my relative, you are not my relative? What do you think? Who is a relative as per Companies Act? Grandma, grandpa, bro, sis, It is only as per 2 clause 77. Important definition. 3 marks they can ask you. We'll do one thing. This requires lot of explanation. We'll do this tomorrow, no problem. Right? Important definition. I need to show you a couple of things. It'll take time. No problem. We'll do it tomorrow with a fresh mind. Tomorrow, first thing we will do relative definition is given in 2 clause 77. All right. So I have finished the class. Thank you guys. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Bye. See you. Take care.